Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 5 and we will present about accounting for adjustment to change in price level. Before we start our presentation, we will introduce our members today. For the first, Aulita Safitri Arminda Putri, second, Claren Prawidya Deniswara, third, Hana Maulidina, fourth, Isano Johanto, and then Valentin Clara Valerie, and the last is Nida Nadia Zain. Restatement of general price levels from historical cost financial statements. Historical cost accounting assumes that the value of money remains stable over time. However, in reality, the purchasing power of money, such as the dollar, tends to decline due to inflation. To measure change in purchasing power, price index are used. In this concept, two types of items are recognized: monetary items and non-monetary items. Monetary items have a fixed value in terms of dollars and are not affected by change in general price levels. In contrast, non-monetary items experience change in value in accordance with general price level fluctuations. And then this is the simple model, the basic equation at time 0 and after a general price level change. And then this is the interpretation. Restatement steps. For the first, obtain the complete historical cost financial statements. Second, select an appropriate general price index. Third, classify items into monetary and non-monetary categories. Fourth, adjust non-monetary item using the index factor. And the last, calculate the gain or loss from change in purchasing power.
Okay, next is accuracy of adjusting special costs due to change in general price levels. In the real world, the value of money is not fixed due to inflation or deflation. As a result, historical financial statements prepared based on past costs become less accurate and can be misleading because they do not take into account change in the purchasing power of money. For this reason, adjustments need to be made, especially in three main parts. The first one is monetary items such as cash, receivables, and payables. Although their value remains the same in numbers, their purchasing power changes. When inflation occurs, cash will experience a loss because its value decreases, while debt actually becomes a profit because it is paid with money of lower value. Then non-monetary items such as fixed assets and inventory must be adjusted to reflect current purchasing power. The adjustment uses a simple formula, namely the current year index divided by the index when the asset was acquired. And finally, shareholders' equity also needs to be adjusted. Initial capital is adjusted using the general price index with the formula of the current year index divided by the index when the capital was invested. For retaining earnings, the calculation is done after all assets and liabilities are adjusted. With this adjustment, financial reports will better reflect actual economic conditions and help report users make more accurate decisions.
Okay, I want to explain about present value in accounting. Two key approaches. Present value in accounting can be assessed through four main approaches: capitalization, current entry price, current exit price, and a combination of the three. First, capitalization. This method calculates the present value of an asset based on the expected future cash flow resulting from its use or disposal. Four key variables are needed. First, estimated cash flow. Second, timing of these cash flows. Third, remaining useful life of the assets. Fourth, appropriate discount rate. Next, material. Second, current entry price. This refers to the amount of money or equivalent payment needed today to acquire a similar or equivalent asset, and included replacement cost and reproduction cost. Use replacement cost, the cost of acquiring an equivalent asset in the second-hand market with the same remaining useful life. Next, reproduction cost, the cost to create an identical asset. Next, the core idea of current entry price is it focus on the actual replacement of or reproduction cost of owned assets rather than historical costs. However, a major challenge lies in selecting the appropriate measurement method. The three most recommended are: first, market pricing; second, specific price index; third, managerial appraisal. That's all for me.
Next is the presentation of material about price level indexes. A price level index is a tool used to compare price changes that occurs, both general changes and specific changes to goods and services from one period to another. This index aims to measure the average price change of a group of goods and services within a certain time span. The relationship is expressed as a percentage, making it easier to understand how much price increase or decrease have occurred over time. In simple terms, the price level index can be interpreted as a comparison of the average price of goods and services in a certain period compared to other periods using the same standard of measurement. This index is important because it provides an overview of economic conditions, especially in measuring inflation, deflation, and price stability of goods and services in the market. To be able to calculate the price level index, there are several commonly used index formula concepts. The symbol used in calculating this index include P, which means the price of a commodity or service; Q, which means the quantity or number of commodities or services; PO, which is the price and quantity in the base period or the initial period of reference; PN, which means the price and quantity is the current period or the period for which the index is being calculated; and PA, which shows the price and quantity based on the average of several periods. Next is about type of index formulas. One commonly used method is the Laplace index, which assumes that the price index is calculated by retaining the quantity from the base period. In the method, the price of the current period are multiplied by the quantity in the base period, and then sums. The result is divided by the sum of the price of the base period, which is also multiplied by the quantity of the base period. Mathematically, the Laplace index formula can be written as the formula can be seen on the screen in the PPT. This method is widely used because base period quantity data is easier to obtain than current period quantity data. However, this method has a drawback, which is that it does not take into account change in people's consumption pattern due to price change. In addition, there is also the Pace index. Unlike Laplace, the Pace index assumes that the quantity used in the quantity in the current period. This means that in calculating the price index, the price on the current period is multiplied by the quantity of the current period and then compared with the price of the base period, which is also multiplied by the quantity on the current period. The Pace index formula can be written as the formula can be seen on the screen in the PPT. The Pace method is more accurate in describing actual condition in the market because it takes into account change in quantity due to shift in consumption patterns. However, the disadvantage is that current period quantity data is often difficult to obtain completely and accurately. Furthermore, there is also the weighted index method, which calculates the price index by using the average quantity of several periods. In this method, the current period price is multiplied by the average quantity and compared to the base period price, which is also multiplied by the average quantity. The formula used in the method is the formula can be seen on the screen in the PPT. This method provides more stability to change in the index because fluctuation in quantity across multiple periods can be neutralized through the use of average quantity. The most ideal method now is the Fisher index. This index is the geometric average of the last Peirce index and the Pease index. The formula used is the formula can be seen on the screen in the PPT. The Fisher index attempts to overcome the weakness of each of the previous method by combining the advantage of last Peirce and Pease. As such, the Fisher index is considered to be the most fair and accurate price index as it reduces the bias that may arise when using only one of the approach. Next is material about general price level index option. In general price level accounting, the main objective is to present financial statement in a form that reflect equivalent purchasing power over time. This is done by using a conversion factor that is based on change in general price level index. In other words, the value of a dollar on a particular date is converted into the value of a dollar on another date that has the same purchasing power. This concept is important because the value of money can change due to inflation or deflation. So, unadjusted historical financial statement risk giving a misleading picture of entity financial position. Hendrickson and accounting experts explain that there are several types of purchasing power to consider, namely of the general purchasing power of the dollar, the purchasing power of stakeholder, the purchasing power of corporate investment, and the purchasing power of special replacement. The general purchasing power of the dollar refers to the ability of money to buy goods and services in general. Meanwhile, stakeholder purchasing power describes the real value of stakeholder right to the company wealth. The purchasing power of company investment relates to how much the investment is able to retain its value in the face of changing price level. The purchasing power of specific replacement implies more on the company's ability to replace certain assets considering the current price. It is important to understand that restatement of financial statement based on the general price level cannot be done arbitrarily as stated in IPB statement number 3. The purpose of this restatement procedure is to adjust to financial statement in dollar terms, and this can only be achieved through the use of a general price level index. In other words, without the use of such index, the financial statement prepared would not be able to accurately reflect change in the purchasing power of money. In the United States, there are several general price level indicators that are officially used and published by government agencies. These include the Consumer Price Index or CPI, which is published by the Bureau of Labor Statistics on the United States Department of Labor. This index measures the average change in the price of goods and services consumed by households, so it is often used as a leading indicator of inflation. In addition, there is also the Wholesale Price Index, which is also published by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This index measures price change at the wholesale level before goods reach the final consumer, making it useful for detecting inflationary pressure as the production and distribution stage. Next, there is the Composite Construction Cost Index published by the Defense, Business and Service Administration through the Construction Industry Division of the Department of Commerce. This index reflects cost change in the construction industry, including the cost of building material, labor wages, and other cost components associated with construction activity. Finally, the gross national product implies price deflator is published by the Office of Business Economics of the United States Department of Commerce. This index is used to measure change in the price of all goods and service products in the national economy, thus providing a broader picture of the macro level of inflation.
Alright, the next material is about General Price Level Accounting or GPLA. The definition, General Price Level Accounting, GPLA, is an accounting method that restates historical financial statements to reflect changes in the purchasing power of money due to inflation or deflation. The main objective is to keep financial statements relevant, comparable, and reflect real economic values in stable monetary units. The theoretical basis, traditional historical cost accounting, ignores changes in the purchasing power of money. GPLA fixed this by correcting all figures in the financial statement using a price index. This approach assumes that monetary values changes due to inflation, so restating to stable monetary units is essential. And then the advantage and the disadvantage. The advantage first, there is 3 points here. The first one is relevant in conditions of high inflation. The second one is maintains the reliability and comparability of financial statement between periods. And then the third is shows the impact of inflation transparently. And then disadvantage, the first one is complicated in implementation, especially if there is no appropriate price index. And then the second one is requires complete and accurate historical index data. And then the last one is not widely adopted due to its complexity. Maybe that's all material about us. If we are make a mistake, we are feel so sorry, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.